The one thing I can tell you is it's almost certain that this will fail. If you just keep refilling it so much, it's a little valve that is not intended to be refilled. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Well, today we're going to talk about propane cylinders. Again, we've talked about propane a lot because for most of us, propane's a pretty important topic. Propane is a good way to cook, and a lot of us will use propane for heat. So a lot of us use these little 1 pound green, Coleman is the big brand name, there are others, cylinders. Now these are not refillable. These are intended to be used one time and disposed of. In fact, there's a federal warning here on the bottle. It says never refill this cylinder. Refilling may cause explosion. Federal law forbids transportation if refilled. Penalty up to $500,000 fine and 5 years imprisonment, and they give the number. Technically, it is legal to refill one of these, but then it becomes illegal as soon as you put it in your rig and you drive away. The one time that I can think of it would be important that it's illegal to refill this, then transport it, is if one of them exploded and burned your van to the ground, the insurance company found this in there, probed into what was going on, they could deny your coverage because you've done something illegal and broken the law. But now we have another option, and the other option is to buy little green cylinders that are intended to be refilled. They are legally refillable and then transportable. They will say right on them, DOT approved, Department of Transportation, that's in the United States. This only applies to the United States. I don't know the laws in Canada or Mexico or anywhere else. So today we're going to talk about how to refill one of these with a refill kit. This is made by Flame King. If you go to almost any place that sells propane and appliances and bottles, you will see Flame King. They are one of the biggest makers of 20-pound bottles. Now, I know a lot of you are refilling these and you're completely satisfied with their safety. But here's my thought and my final decision. I've never bought these and refilled them. Why wouldn't I want to just refill these? It's cheaper. You buy one single adapter that screws into the propane bottle, and for about 10 bucks, it's about 20 bucks at the most. It's an adapter, you screw this in and it refills. These are not intended to be refilled. These are intended to one-time use and to be thrown away. The safety on these is completely not designed to be refilled. And if you continuously refill them, they're going to wear out, and one time or another, they're going to start to leak. And here's the big issue. You're driving down the road, you've got a propane cylinder, these little green bottles in back that has been filled and refilled and filled and refilled. It starts to leak. Slowly starts to leak. Before long, your whole inside of your rig is filled with propane, and there's a spark anywhere along the way, and boom, you're gone. And you will have no way to know when or if this thing will fail. The one thing I can tell you is it's almost certain that this will fail. If you just keep refilling it so much, it's a little valve that is not intended to be refilled, and eventually it's going to. Let me give you an example. This is a standard 20-pound propane bottle. You can see it looks different, doesn't it? Every 10 years, every propane bottle in the United States of America has to be recertified. And it's got a date on it, imprinted somewhere. And that whenever you take it in, the propane guy is supposed to look at the date and know if it's within that 10 years. And if not, it's illegal for him to refill it. He'll have broken the law, and he knows it. The assumption is with all propane bottles is they have a limited life. But you can take it to a propane certified place, have them recertify it, and then you get another 10 years. But what you're saying is this bottle, which has only been designed and built to be used one time, can be used indefinitely. That doesn't even make sense. If it's only allowed 10 years, how long is this one allowed? I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. You'll only know once it starts leaking. Then you'll know it's been refilled one too many times. I don't want to take that chance. I have never, ever refilled one of these, and I've never recommended that you do so. And I know a lot of you have. You refill them all the time. You've never had a problem. I understand that. I respect that. That's your decision to make. It's your life. Now, there's this new thing, new kid on the block, and it's the exact same, basically the exact same, with some differences. Little green bottles that are designed to be refilled. 2 bottles. It comes with one. This refillable kit came with one. This is $62, this kit right here, and I'm going to show you it in a minute. This was $35, and that's $17.50 each. But again, these are certified to be good for 10 years, and then you can get them recertified. The safety factor on these is much, 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 much higher. They're not designed to be disposable. Now you might ask, why would I ever use these? Because I use the big bottle for my nearly everything. I do my cooking with an adapter hose to one of these with my little Coleman propane stove, and I rarely use heat. But one of the cheapest stoves you can buy is one of these this one's Ozark Trail, but you can buy any brand name, and this one's really cheap. It's a Walmart brand. It screws directly into the bottom and becomes part of the stand. And then it goes in the stand. It's got little legs that come out to give it some more stability. And then you just press it in here. And so the propane bottle becomes part of the stand. These are nice little stoves. They're really cheap. This is by far the cheapest way you can buy a stove, either Coleman or this one from Walmart. And but it's part of the stand. And the only way to use this stove, practically the only way to use it, there are ways around it. I've got videos on ways around it. Is just to buy and use the propane bottle as the stand. Now, that means if you're going to buy these, you're going to pay $5 for 1 pound. $5 a pound for one of these. The big deal is the Mr. Heater Little Buddy heaters. They have one that uses the propane bottle, the little green bottle, as a part of the stand as well. It's the smallest one, so you're going to burn a bottle a day at $5 a day. That gets pretty expensive pretty fast. This solves that problem. These are safe. After the initial investment, there's no more cost except to refill it. All right, so next, let's unbox this. This was $62. It came with 1 bottle. To refill one of these, you have to turn the bottle upside down. So it comes with a stand that you assemble. It comes with 1 bottle, and it comes with a manual, of course. And so it comes with a little pack of bolts, and it's pretty easy to assemble. I'll kind of go through this pretty quickly. So you just put these together, put your bolt in. So it says this side should face the ground. It goes on here. The other thing it comes with is this high quality adapter. And again, you can buy one like this to just refill the green non-refillable bottles. But this is a really nice one, and it's got a better design to it. All right, so what do we do? How do we refill this thing? Well, if you've ever watched a video on refilling the little green ones, the non-refillable, disposable, you got to turn the bottle upside down. There you go. And now it's up in the air and kind of unstable, but that's where this big green platform comes in. It really is going to make it much more stable. And so I see I kind of did this wrong. All the legs are outside, but this one is inside. There's this collar around them. So you want to watch for that. Make sure you get it right. All the legs should be outside of the collar. And I had messed it up. It probably would have worked just fine, but it's a big, heavy thing. I don't want it falling over on me, especially while I'm filling. So this is actually pretty stable. And just screw it on. All right, so that's as finger tight as I can get it. And these come with their own protective lid, which is very handy. Very good little lid here, I think. I'm glad they have that. It's got a little slot here that goes along with a little plastic slot inside, and you want to make sure that you get them lined up. Okay, now I'm doing a close-up of the lid on this thing, and there is a Allen key, and each bottle will come with its own Allen key, and you want to get it off there and hold on to it. You can see it here, I think, my finger's on it. And so they all come with their own Allen key because you need an Allen key to fill this thing. Okay, just so that propane isn't such a mystery, and it is for a lot of us, I'm going to explain it all to you. Propane is a liquid gas, and when you fill the tank from the top, it's upside down, you fill it from the top and all the liquid propane goes to the bottom, and above that liquid propane is air. These things are never airtight. They have air in them, and it smells because it's in near the liquid. The liquid smells. And so this little bottle is also full of air. And when you open the valve and liquid propane comes in, it can only fill so far because it's full of air. You have to let the air out as the propane goes in. And you've seen this, if you've ever filled a bulk bottle, you've seen the guy, he'll screw on the filler, and then he'll open a valve with a screwdriver, and he will start filling it, and stuff will gush out of that open valve that he opened. That's air. As the propane comes in and fills up from the bottom, it pushes out the air, and then he's watching that. And you've seen guys do this if you ever filled a propane bottle. He's watching for when propane starts coming out of it. As soon as propane starts coming out of it, it's full. And so then he reaches over and turns off the valve. And we're going to do exactly the same thing here. The reason you got an Allen key is it goes in here and you open a valve and the air is going to come out of here. Why this is legal and these aren't is because there's no way to safely open the valve. They have and I've heard people say to do this, they have a safety release valve. Every propane bottle has to have a safety release valve. If they get too hot, too much pressure, they have to have a way to let off. So you see this little stem in here, that's the propane release valve. Some people, to refill these, will tell you to get a pair of needle nose pliers and pull that out, and that releases the air. I think that's a terrible idea. A lot of people do it. They do it safely for years. I think it's a terrible idea. This is not intended to be opened and closed. I would just be afraid of the wear and tear that's going to come on it. I'm confident that people do it. So it reseals and closes, but I think it's going to wear and tear on it every time. So I just couldn't recommend that at all. So next I'm going to open the valve so I could hear it. But if I do this, can you hear that? Propane's going in whenever I do that. Okay, you might want to wear gloves because propane's spurting out and it's cold. I don't know why, but it's always cold. You put your Allen key in here and you give it about a quarter turn. And I can hear the air that's in it coming out. That's what you want. But the little valve is right over here by this finger, and now all the air's come out. So now I'm going to start propane coming in. You can hear the propane coming in. I can hear the air coming out. There you can see actual propane spurting out. Now it's done. Well, let me just show you again. I just want you to see the propane spurting out. See? And now I closed it. This valve is closed, nothing's spurting out. And now it's completely full. That means it's come up all the way so that the propane can spurt out. And it's done. Now I'll undo it. Again, you might want to wear gloves for this. And you want to make sure you also turn the valve off. I should have done that first. So there's how you refill them. It was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You do have to align the the two on down here. And until I got it really aligned right, it wouldn't work. So you got to work on that. You play with it a little bit and you'll get it figured out. Let's talk about the economics of buying $5 for one of these or filling this 20-pounder. This is a 1-pound bottle. This is a 20-pound bottle. This has 20 times as much as this. If you're buying $5 each, the 2-pack is $10, so you're paying $5 a pound. You're paying $5 a pound. If you can get this for around 20, and depends on where you are around the country, you probably can get this for about $20 for a 20-pound tank. That's $1 a pound. So refilling these, you're going to end up paying $1 a pound after the initial purchase, and buying these is $5 a pound. $1 a pound, $5 a pound. Huge, huge difference, and it's going to add up pretty fast. So that's the big thing about why this is well worth doing, is you're going to save a lot of money in the long run. And again, I know a lot of you are out there are refilling these and you're perfectly satisfied with their safety, and I will not argue with you. I'll just say I'm not satisfied with me. Each of you who's listening to this, you have to make your own decision and make that decision and follow through and live with the consequences. So you make a decision, you live with the consequences. I won't. So there you go, a good idea of how to refill, how to buy, how much, and how to refill these, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm glad I did it, and I hope you learned something. If you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.